I'm Teresa. This is Celebration Elevation. The holidays are coming up. I love to give candles as gifts. I love to get candles as gifts, but as you know, candles are at least $10 to $20 a piece. I wanted to find out how to make my own candles so I don't have to spend that kind of money. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I will break down the costs of everything I'm using and let you know how you can make them a lot cheaper. First thing we're going to start with is the materials list. I'm going to give that to you right now. We're going to use 4 cups of soy wax flakes, 4-cup Pyrex bowl, or you can use a double boiler. I'm using Pyrex today because I don't have a double boiler. Thermometer to measure the temperature of the wax, approximately 1 to 2 teaspoons of essential oil. Today I'm using lemon and rosemary, a hot glue gun, 2 8-ounce mason jars or the equivalent, and then cotton wicks, which if you buy your wax like I did in a 10-pound bag, they just come with the wax. The 3 different kinds of wax you can use for candles are beeswax, which is just plain too expensive and it's harder to find, paraffin, and soy wax. Paraffin wax, I found when I was researching this, is actually residue from oil refining, and that it burns off chemicals and it's dirty. It causes 90% more soot than the soy wax. The soy wax is what we're using today. It's non-toxic and it's all natural. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna start off melting the wax, and what we're gonna do this is what the wax looks like. It looks kind of like coconut flakes, and we're gonna melt it down, and I'm gonna start at 1 minute, and then I'm gonna stir it, and I'm just using a metal fork. I'm gonna stir it up, and then I'm gonna do another minute, and same thing, and then at 30-second intervals. I'm gonna start right now. Also, I wanna let you know, if you're using a Pyrex that you use for your cooking, it's absolutely okay. It's not gonna ruin it. When you finish using your Pyrex, you're just gonna wipe it out with paper towel, throw it away. Do not wash it down your drain because you're gonna mess up your pipes and your garbage disposal, so don't do that. So we're gonna start with a minute, and I will speed this up so you don't have to wait. Oops. Okay, this is after 3 minutes. And as you can see, it looks a lot like vegetable oil. So I'm just giving it a last stir to kind of melt the last few little flakes that are in there. And now it is set. And so I'm gonna check to see what the temperature is, because it looks melted, but we don't necessarily know that it's the right temperature. So it is only 142 degrees, so I'm gonna put it back in for 30 seconds and we'll see what happens.
Go ahead.
Okay, another 30 seconds. I'm gonna take the temperature. 185, perfect. Okay, this is what we want. So now we're gonna add the essential oils. And what I had said before is you might wanna start with a teaspoon total. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a half teaspoon. Sorry, am I dry? Okay, half teaspoon of each, and that's what we'll start with. You can use the dropper. A lot of people use like a certain amount of drops, but I'm just gonna do it with teaspoon. I think it's easier. So there's a half teaspoon of the rosemary, and then we're gonna do a half teaspoon of the lemon, and then we'll stir it up, and we'll check what the scent is like. Okay, I'm gonna smell it. Make sure you stir it really well. Okay, it smells really good actually. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more of the lemon. A tiny bit more. And I think that we're good. This is what we're gonna go with. Now you want to heat up your mason jars to 160 degrees, 140 to 160 in the oven, and put it on a cookie sheet. Right now what I'm using is mason jars, a couple of them. They're tinted. These are the ones that I tinted in another one of my videos, the Rustic Theme. So I will have a link to that. And then this is just another jar, and I already put the wick in this one. I just want to show you also, you don't have to use jars if you don't want to. This was a gift from my son and daughter-in-law. It's a teacup that has a candle in it, which is really cute. This is another gift from a niece, and you can use probably like a flower pot that doesn't have holes on the bottom. Or you can use a mug. Here's another one that I did that was in a tinted candle, in a tinted mason jar. And then this was just a small little candle that I did. Also, you want to find something that has a lid if possible, because in between the times that you're using the candle, if you cover it, then the scent will last longer, which is a really good tip. So I'm going to put the wicks in the candles. So I'm taking a little bit of my glue gun. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue, put it in the middle, and then what I do to make sure it stays in the middle is I take a chopstick or a pen. I'm going to lay it across the middle and just tape it in place. And that way it won't start leaning over to one side or another. So there's that one. I'm going to do the last one. Stick that one in. This time I'm just using a pen. Just sticking it in the middle, taping it on. Simple as that. So now it's in the middle and I don't have to worry when I'm pouring it in. So I'm going to pour these in. Start with this one. I'm using these two jars because they're easier to show you. As you can see, I poured it in. I have the candle wicks in the center. If you want, the way that this teacup looks, if you can see the center of it, they put some, looks like maybe seeds or something in it, in the candle, and it looks pretty. You can use that effect easily. So what you would want to do is pour your wax in a 1/4 inch lower than you actually want it to be. Let it set for about an hour at least, so it settles. Then you could put in dried flowers, you could put in dried rosemary. Just sprinkle a little on the top and add some more melted wax. So save some of your melted wax, don't pour it in. Then you're gonna stir these around a little bit in the top, and that will set on top, and then that will harden. So that's what you do if you want to put something inside your candle. As I mentioned before, you can watch my Rustic Theme video, and that will show you how to tint the mason jars, and that looks really pretty with the candles in it. And then also I have a blog post on Just Because gifts on my celebrationelevation.com website, and that's a fun one because it will give you kind of ideas on sending these to friends just because. So if you like the content on this video and any of my videos, if you would hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up button to like it. And I want to get to the pricing because I told you I would. My 10-pound bag of soy wax flakes was $39, and that came with all the wicks as well. So you would also need to buy your essential oils. You would use whatever jars you happen to have. And I just wanted to show you, if you're using a smaller jar, that will also obviously give you more candles. But if you're using 8-ounce containers for your candles, you can make 26 8-ounce candles with that bag of 10-pound of wax, and that's 160 ounces. So that'll give you 26 8-ounce candles. That would bring it to $1.50 each just for the wax. And obviously, like I said, if you make the smaller candles, that's going to be a lot cheaper too. So for the wicks, there's always a question on how many wicks you should use. If you have an opening of 3 inches or less across the opening of your candle, you're going to use 1 wick. Every inch thereafter, it's going to be another wick. So if you have 4 inches across, it's going to be 2 wicks. If you have 5 inches across, it's going to be 3 wicks. So that's how you determine how many wicks to put in your candle. I want to let you know also, after you put these candles together, you want to make sure that you let them cure for a minimum of 3 days. But it's better if you can let them cure 2 to 3 weeks. So if you're going to give them for Christmas gifts, get them done ahead of time. Make sure you do it at least by the beginning of December. And then that way your recipients of these candles can burn them right away. And never burn them longer than 4 hours. And you should always burn them at least 2 hours, especially the bigger candles. So you want to make sure you burn it at least 2 hours, at least until it is all melted across the top. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you make some candles. If you have any questions, leave comments below, leave questions below, and I will get back to you. And otherwise, I will see you next week. Thanks.